Hello everybody, Hazard here bringing another video, and today I'm actually going back over one of my older videos. It is a Scuf review, which for those of you who don't know, I've had a Scuf now for about a year, and there's a few things that I want to say about it before we progress, but I wanted to give a a better review than I did last time, because last time I only had it for like a week or two, and now it's been a full year, and I just want to tell you some of the pros and cons about actually owning a Scuf, and if it's a good purchase, if it's something that you're looking into. This video should be able to help you make your decision up, and if it doesn't, I apologize, but yeah, let's go ahead and get right into the video. If you have never heard of a Scuf, I don't know where you've been, but a Scuf controller, for those of you who do not know, is a controller just like the normal one, but first of all, it's a lot more customizable, but it also has paddles on the back, so that way you don't have to take your thumb off the analog stick to hit circle or X. And some of the even more expensive ones have it to where you don't have to take your thumb off the analog stick like to press anything, like square, triangle. Yeah, no, it's crazy. But for those of you who have never used one, this video should help you, like I said in the intro. So we're gonna go ahead and first off talk about the paddles. So people that I've talked to about Scuf have been torn between Scuf gaming and cinch gaming, which cinch controllers have buttons on the back instead of paddles. Now, for me personally, I think that the paddles work best for me. I don't really like the buttons. The cinch controller feels a little bit too light for me, and just I feel like in my own opinion the Scuf controller is better for me. Now that might be different for you. It depends how it feels to you and everything else, how customizable you want your controller to be, and just all kinds of things. So my best recommendation, check them both out, see which one you feel like would help you out the best, and make your decision off that. Now, the wear and tear. Now this is something that I don't know about Scuf. I know more about Scuf, but I don't know anything about cinch. But the wear and tear on the controller, for the most part, is pretty well. They have a completely interchangeable set for a lot of the features on the controller. For instance, the thumbsticks, normally with the PlayStation 4's default thumbsticks, they wear down really fast, and I'm sure a lot of people have noticed that about the PS4. But with the thumbsticks that I have, they kind of sag a little bit to the right before they rip. And I've went through one set of thumbsticks so far. I'm about to replace them again in a year, so it seems like every 6 months they seem to wear down. That could just be me playing rough or just manhandling my controller a little too hard. But me personally, I still think that because of how cheap the controllers are, the thumbsticks are and the accessories to the controller, it's still a good buy. And plus, who wants to look the same all the time? You can switch it up pretty much every 6 months. I mean, come on now. I don't think that's one of their sales pitches. But another thing about the wear and tear. Now, this one did upset me when it happened, and I honestly wish I had the video clip of when it happened to me, because I was so upset. But the paddles on the back, if pressed too hard, can break. And that's something that you don't get with the cinch controller, just because it's buttons. You could pretty much smack the heck out of them, and nothing's going to really change about them. But the paddle snapped on me when I was playing Rainbow Six Siege, so it was way back when. And I just went ahead and replaced the thumbsticks and the paddles while I was doing it. Whenever the paddle snapped, I really didn't know how to play anymore. I just didn't feel like playing. It was kind of upsetting. But anyway, it takes you a little bit of getting used to when it comes to a Scuf controller, and honestly, if you put in the work to get used to it, I honestly do think it makes you a better player. You can just jump around corners, you can drop shot like no other, and I honestly feel like if you were to go to a tournament right now, and every player on the other team had a Scuf controller, and every person on your team had a Scuf controller except for you, I definitely feel like you're at a disadvantage, just because of the mobility of the actual controller and what it allows you to do. Now, on top of all that stuff that I just talked about, we're going to go into if you actually need a Scuf controller. So, the Scuf controller is meant for people that play at the default play style, and their ring fingers or middle fingers go into the back of the controller to hold, and their pointer finger and sometimes their middle finger use the L1, R2, and all that stuff. Those little triggers if you're on Xbox. That's what they're used for. But if you play claw, which is with your pointer fingers pressing the buttons and your middle finger or maybe ring finger doing like the L1, R1 or the triggers, you probably don't need a Scuf personally, unless you just want to try them just to have the custom, like to customize the controller. But as terms of its use, I don't think you'll need it. And a lot of people have been playing where they could drop shot with their analog stick. I forget what it's called right now. I can't think at the moment. But some people play like that, and there is ways to go around not having a Scuf. I actually mentioned that in my older video. But going back to what I was saying, if you want to get into competitive, if you're wanting to do GBs, if you want to go to tournaments, if you want to do anything like that or work with a team, I really recommend the Scuf controller. And if anybody else feels differently, feel free to leave it in the comments. I'll be sure to read through them, and I'll respond back to any questions you have about Scuf, if I can answer it. I don't work for Scuf, so I don't know everything about them, but I do know quite a bit after working with them for a year. And also everything that comes like stock on the controller, almost everything is replaceable, which is actually insane. Like, think about it. You can have a thumbstick and paddles in one day and just literally, oh, I'm not feeling blue today, I'll switch them to red. Or, man, these paddles feel a little bit stiffer, maybe I'll try to get paddles with more grip or something. You know, just little things you can switch up, and it's just awesome. It's really awesome to have a controller that you feel comfortable with, and it's definitely going to help you when it comes to competitive. So that's actually all I have to say about the Scuf controller. Now I'm going to give you my one last opinion. Do I think it's worth it? Because it is a big purchase in a gaming career. $200+, especially for people that don't have jobs or like sources of income. That's a lot of money, and that's a lot of money for people with jobs too. So $200, is it worth it? I think in the long run, if you are like going toward a competitive career in Call of Duty, or just want to play a little bit more competitive, you feel like that is going to help you be a better player, honestly, I think you should go for it. Cinch controllers, don't know too much about them. I do know the buttons are there, so it's technically the same thing. It should be about the same thing. And you know, like I said, the final decision is going to be up to you guys. Obviously, it's your money, it's your decision. In my opinion, a Scuf's a must, but I'm just another guy on YouTube. So hope you guys did enjoy this video. Hopefully it does help y'all with y'all's opinions or your decision on getting a Scuf controller. And if there's any other questions, like I said earlier, leave them in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer them as soon as I can. And until then, this has been Hazard. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.